I'm going to show you how to formally eat cake in a British Western setting. Depending on the type of cake you are served will depend on how you eat it. In front of me is my favourite, cheesecake, but I'll explain about the other types of cake and how one would eat them first. If you are served a dry cake, such as a pound cake, you would tear it into small bite-sized pieces with your fingers and then neatly eat with your hands. A moist cake, for example, a cheesecake, you would use a fork and a spoon if required. With ice cream cake, for example, you would use the fork and the spoon. The fork is used to hold the cake, and the spoon is then used to cut and convey the food to your mouth. With any sauces, for example, custard, you would use a spoon to eat. However, the fork could be used for eating berries, for example, which is served along with the custard. Cake, pie or crepes served a la mode can be eaten with either fork or spoon or both. If you're served a hard dessert, for example, a poached pear, you would switch how the utensils are used. The spoon would now be used for cutting, and the fork would be used to bring the poached pear to your mouth. If you've been served birthday cake or layered cake, the cake will be upright on the plate. Using your fork and spoon, you should place the cake down on its side, and then you can either use the fork or the spoon to eat the cake. This is a dessert fork. As you can see, this section of the fork is thicker, as you can then use it to aid with cutting. The dessert fork is similar to a salad fork. However, if you purchase a standard canteen of cutlery, the dessert fork may not be included, so you may have to purchase this separately. You would find a dessert fork in either formal or informal settings. Both are perfectly acceptable. To eat my cheesecake, I take my dessert fork. I cut into the cheesecake, separating a small bite-sized portion. And now, depending on the density of the cheesecake, I spear the cheesecake with my fork and then place it into my mouth to eat. If the cheesecake is not as dense, you can cut into it from the top using the tines. You can then scoop the cheesecake up and again eat in one bite-sized, neat portion. Remember, in formal British dining, we typically don't scoop with a fork. However, it is perfectly acceptable to scoop using a dessert fork. In between bites, you can place the fork neatly down on the side of the plate. Then you can continue to enjoy your cheesecake when you're ready. As I said, cheesecake is my favourite. What's your favourite dessert? I'd love to know.